Welcome back. I am Amanda Ripley, and this is my Cozy Reading Corner. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we are going to discuss what I read in December and January. I'm a little behind on these videos because I was swamped with work. Now, I'm not Santa's elf, but it sure did feel like it. And then after the holidays, I got super sick. And I had this weird lingering cold, and so I was just basically working and then sleeping, so I didn't get a lot of reading in, wasn't able to make these videos. I would have looked like hell anyways. So why don't you grab yourself a drink, grab a snack, and let's get chit-chatting. So I'm going to start with the book I read in December. I read it and I listened to it on Spotify. Spotify Premium has some audiobooks, and they just so happenly had this one that I bought. And so I read / listened to A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. It is the first one in the Hades and Persephone saga. I don't think I'll be continuing the series, but I'm not mad that I read this. Let's read some of the notes I made, because December was like a month ago, 2 months ago. It's February. I can't remember. I gave it 4 stars. The 3 words I would use to describe it is spicy, interesting, and pleasant. I loved how it ended. I loved how smitten Hades was for her. He was obsessed. I love an obsessed man. I loved how she came into her powers both as a goddess and as a mortal. And I love how she stood up for herself at the end. I really liked that. Some of the stuff I didn't like about this book was the smut scenes. Sometimes I feel that the smut got in the way of the beautiful, tender moments. In this book, the 2 characters were doing something that was really important and influential and also beautiful. And then in the middle of it, they just started going at it. Like, they started having smut. And I feel like it ruined the moment. I think it would have been, like, I don't know, it would have just been, you should have just let it be the moment. You know, I feel like the smut actually ruined the very tender, emotional, important moment in this book. And so I think it could have done with actually less smut, which is surprising because I don't say that a lot about books. This definitely wasn't at least I don't think it was marketed as a basically porn book. But there was a lot of smut in it. And very she was like instantly in love with him. He was instantly in love with her, kind of thing. I started a Fables. You can follow me on Fables. I'll try and link it down below. While I was reading it, there was a quote in here that just hit me. The quote was, oh gosh, let me think of it. No soul ever healed while dwelling on the past. And I read that and I was like, holy shit, that hit me. Why are you coming for me? I feel targeted with that quote. I loved it. It was very poetic at times and very beautiful. I think some of the smut got in the way of that. But that was my December read. Again, I listened to it and read it. I started reading it, and the first couple pages I couldn't get into it. I've actually picked this up and put it down a couple times now. And so when I was driving home for the holidays, I threw it on Spotify, and I was actually able to get multiple chapters in because my family is hours away. And then I listened to it back, and then I listened for that Thanksgiving, and then I listened to it for Christmas. And then I did read it a little bit. The only complaint I have with the audiobook is that it's single narration, and at first it was hard to take the narrator seriously because it was a female, I think she was female, a female voice, trying to do a male voice, it sounded like a woman trying to do a man's voice. I really, really love the dual narration. I say things weird. We're gonna let it go. I love the dual narrations. So that's my only complaint about the audiobook. But 4 to 5 stars. Would recommend it. But then again, I don't remember a lot of it. I honestly kind of forgot that I read it already. So don't go into it thinking that it's going to change your life. Anyways, on to January. Again, everything was so busy. I was so sick. I only got one book in December. I actually didn't even finish a book in January. The only book I really got into was Witch of the Wolves by Kaylee Archer. And I got a good way through. Like, I think I have only I'm on page 257 out of like 350. So I have, look at that, 100 pages left. I am going to soft DNF this for right now and maybe pick it up in a couple of months when I'm in a better place. I didn't expect there to be so much violence in the book. And especially towards our female main character, this might be giving it away, but I also think it's important to know that she like gets beat up multiple times, and women are treated horrifically, and she is basically, her dad's trying to use her, like marry her off to this one guy so that they can have a baby. So he's basically just using her for her womb, like, and they say that in there. With what's going on in the world, I live in Minnesota, and if you know anything that's going on, I think you'd understand why I'm putting this down for right now. When I read, I want to escape reality. I want a happy, fluffy, fun time. I want to giggle and kick my feet. And I wasn't giggling and kicking my feet with this. Even with the smut scenes, they came at weird times. Like, she just got beat up and she found out her, like, okay, spoiler. So skip ahead maybe a minute if you don't want spoilers for this book. And then she finds out that, well, she, like, first she was beaten, and then her dad kills her aunt in front of her. She's put in a dungeon for the night, and then the next night or next morning, she goes and has sex with this guy. I was like, what? What are you doing? You just, how? First of all, well, I know how. But you just got beat up. How do you have any energy for that? I gotta put it down for right now because I am not enjoying it, and I don't want to force myself to read a book that I don't think I'm going to enjoy. It is just too violent, and there's too much sadness and too much bad news in it that I can't handle that, and I get a lot of bad news at work, and it's just not the right time for that book. I think I would really enjoy it though if it was a better time. But that's what I read in December, and then this is what I attempted to read in January. So, yeah. If you guys read and liked these books, comment down below what your thoughts and opinions are. How many stars did you guys give them? What was my other question? Oh, follow me on Fable. Maybe I could start a book club on there if you guys want that. That'd be kind of fun. I've seen the different book clubs on there. But tell me what you think of these ones. If there's books that you've had to put down recently because of mental health or political stuff or the world or work or what have you. But these are the ones I read. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you had fun. And I'll see you in the next one. Love ya. Get reading.